Silly girl.
Welcome back to another episode. Happy Thursday. Today, we're finally getting into it. I've been waiting. Tell Me Lies, Season 3, theories that need to be discussed. And I've been dying to do an episode on Season 3. I've been thinking, do I do it by episode? But I realized I want to get a couple episodes under my belt. I want to see how certain character stories are playing out. And this season and this show in general is so unhinged. I think that Season 3 is to trick us. I really do. Almost like we were liars. Like, I don't believe that, like, the storylines, and maybe I'm wrong, I don't believe the storylines are going to just, like, play out like we think they're going to. So, besties, this is your spoiler warning, your emotional warning. I'm talking about all of the theories that I personally think we should plug and play as we're watching the rest of the series, but we're officially entering the unhinged theory territory. And I just want to say that I'm really good about trying to figure out details that are not surface level takes, because that's what I do. But these are my thoughts that I have at like 1 a.m., aka Midnight Wake Up Club, or if I pause the episode and I whisper like, wait, or I might go back to a previous episode. Either way, let's get into it. The thing that for me is making Tell Me Lies Season 3 less like a show and more almost like a psychological experiment are these theories. So theory number 1, Steven isn't the final villain. I think we're starting to see that. He is definitely the blueprint. I will give him that. Okay. Steven is the origin of this entire series. But the most disturbing thought I've had as I'm seeing Season 3 play out is I don't think Steven's the endgame bad guy. Like I said, like he's the origin story. He's what we started with. But this season isn't about defeating Steven, if you noticed. It's really been about watching his behavior almost replicate. There's been a lot of manipulation amongst the group, a lot of withholding. There's a lot of rewriting of reality. And I think for me, the scariest part is Steven isn't the system he created because that's running without him. Let that sink in for a second. Like, everyone's almost too busy with their lives to even worry about Steven. Like, everyone's over him. Like, the system is just running itself. Because once toxic behavior teaches others how to survive, it doesn't need a villain anymore. Theory number 2, the timeline is lying to us. Something about this season feels off to me. Conversations feel way too calm. There's way too much self-awareness. Wrigley is like the most self-aware. It seems like rehearsed. And I don't mean in the acting. I just mean like it just seems rehearsed. Like everyone is really just trying to cover up their tracks, which leads to this theory. What if we're not seeing events in the order they actually happened? What if this isn't a story unfolding, but like a story being justified? Almost like selective memory is power in this season. Because when you already know how things end, it is what it is. Theory number 3, Lucy knows exactly what she's doing. I think Lucy is worse than we think she is. Like, this one hurt a little bit. I don't think Lucy is confused anymore, especially at the end of this episode. I don't think she's naive. I think she's very strategic and she knows the patterns. She sees the red flags and she still walks towards them. And you have to ask yourself why. Because chaos feels familiar, stability feels unsafe, and being desire feels like control. So Lucy doesn't want peace. I don't think Lucy wants peace at all. I think she wants power, but the soft kind. And that makes her harder to root for than previous seasons for me. My theory number 4 is everyone is someone else's Steven. And that one really hit me this season. And here's where the show gets uncomfortably real is the villain role is rotating. So sometimes Steven is the manipulator. Sometimes he's the victim. Sometimes Lucy is both, which means the show isn't asking who is bad. It's asking, when are you bad? Because most people aren't toxic all of the time. You're not toxic all the time, just at the wrong moments. And that is kind of chilling, knowing how many storylines and bad things have played out. My 5th theory is someone is about to weaponize the truth, which I think we can all agree on. Let's talk secrets because the truth is coming out this season, but not for healing, not for closure. I don't think it's going to be for honesty. I think the truth isn't coming to heal anyone. It's coming to burn something down. And whether this be a confession with an agenda or a revelation dropped at like the most destructive possible moment, when it happens, everything will shift, which leads me to my theory 6 that this season is going to be about cycles, not endings, which makes me think we're going to get a season 4. Because if you're waiting for a resolution, I feel like there's no way they're going to fit it in. We might as well be waiting for forever. This season is not going to be about growth. It's going to be about rebranding dysfunction. Like healing didn't happen. Rebranding did. Like the patterns aren't breaking. They're just getting dressed up with better language and better storyline, different characters, but they're all in the same role, which leads me to my theory 7 that this is no longer about a love story. And I don't know how I feel about this, but I think this is where they're going to catch us off guard. Like this is not like a summer I turned pretty plot. Here's my final theory. And maybe the real, if you will, thesis since we're in college of season 3, nobody wants love. I really think they all just want control. Like they've all come in to college to get validation, to get safety. Every romantic decision is actually about emotional survival. Every single one of them. I think that plays out the most in Diana's character this season. Like this isn't a love triangle. It's a nervous system free-for-all. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So here's the real question. Are these people messy or are they just deeply human with zero coping skills? Which kind of tracks for their age. And to be honest, if this show were about you at 22, would you look really better? Tell me what you think. Like I go back to me being at 22. Would I be that much better than this? So I don't know. DM me. Tell me your wildest theory. Tell me who you think is worse this season. Lucy for knowing better, Steven for never caring. Because if nothing else, this show reminds us exactly who we never want to be again. And there you have it. That is my part 1, Tell Me Lies, season 3, top 7 series. Hope you enjoy. Cannot wait to chit chat more.